Alright, welcome back. Now, as most of you probably know, cruisers have been my go-to ship for the past like 3, 4, 5 years, although in the meantime I've been flying everything from frigates to capitals at one point, but I always had a sweet spot for the cruiser class. I think to date they are still my most skilled ship skill-wise. I have literally everything on level 5 that's cruiser related. And I do have a bunch of skills and skill points that I've obtained recently that I don't really know where to put. Good chance that I might skill out of some certain ships and maybe some certain weapon systems. That's one thing I haven't decided yet. But I think besides drones I might go with missiles, not because of the Orcas. I've been looking at the ship trying to justify the skills for missiles basically, but still encounter the same roadblock with the Enforcer. Even though it's not too difficult to build the Enforcer, I still cannot decide what weapon to use on that thing. But in any case, today I'll be flying a bunch of different ships as usual, and we will start with a interesting random 1 in 1,000 maybe. I don't really know the odds of finding a Orca just traveling like this, but occasionally it does happen. That's what I'm saying, 1 in 1,000 maybe. Maybe that's kind of wrong, I don't know. Again, I don't know the odds, but a Orca traveling alone in null space always does always bring the crew, as we can see here, as we have already experienced in the past. Last Orca that we caught did drop a... what was the name of the module again? The beaver mode? I know there's like 2 of them, the red one and the blue one. The module can be very expensive, so obviously we all are interested in a very expensive module, and we have prepared a little surprise party for the Orca. Now the Orca is still traveling, and it should jump any moment now. We have been a little bit deeper in the systems here. I'm not going to say the exact location, although I might go and, you know, black out the name of the system out, but I think it's pointless. But in any case, there is the Orca. Let's go after it. Good thing I have a scrambler and dual webs. I changed the build for the Orca. They have been webbed. The Orca is a slow ship, technically between a battleship and a capital. The Orca always was a weird classification, but in any case they have been webbed. They are not going anywhere in any case. I love the DPS on the Saleos. This thing just slaps. I'm using autocannons. Was using artillery cannons up until recently. However, is it just me, or did they nerf the artillery cannons, because they started to miss a lot, and that wasn't the case before, because I didn't really change the build on this ship, but it started to miss a lot with the artillery cannons. So I did go... I actually used both, but I think I might start to prefer autocannons again. In any case, the Orca has been destroyed, and let me just orbit and let's take a look at what we caught here. Well, 2.3 billion, not bad. Not going to complain. A mining build Orca that had a lot of blueprints. Unfortunately, they did not carry the special mode, the special module. which is kind of disappointing, but you know, I also have to be careful. Actually, I don't have to be careful. I have the long range build. Okay, that will work. Well, there is the Hyperion. Perfect distance, right in the range of my points. Now I can orbit full speed, and the ship will have enough tracking if I turn on the rapid firing module. An afterburner would actually be more beneficial in this moment, although it seems the Hyperion is a little bit sleepy. Okay, let me just do a very bad thing and let me approach. Now, if the Hyperion wasn't sleeping, well, I think they are sleeping at least. I could be wrong though. You never know what's happening. But you don't want to be stationary. You don't want to approach or keep at range a battleship. I'm doing this because the Hyperion is not shooting at me back. If the Hyperion was shooting at me, I would definitely orbit, because battleship main guns were just a very fast cruiser orbiting at a fairly low distance. Yeah, the tracking will not be able to keep up with the ship. So that's where the afterburner is going to be much better, and this is why I actually like to use the dual propulsion build on this ship. Although with the dual propulsion build I sacrifice a little bit of DPS, but against battleships it works really well if they do decide to shoot back, since I can speed tank a lot of them. Of course, a Belgorn or a Vindicator might be a problem, but if they are sleeping it will not be a big deal. This Hyperion seems to be asleep, at least that's the guess. I could be wrong. I have no idea what's happening with the ship here, but they are in hull. Couple more shots and that should do the job. One more hit and there we go. One less Hyperion, I guess. And they immediately warp off because the ship was on autopilot. Okay, let me see what we have caught here. 2.7 billion. Okay, this was a long range build. Although I have to admit, this is a weird build. At least the capacitor. Actually, it's not a weird build. The capacitor batteries are for the neutralizers, but only one armor repairer. Not the best Hyperion build that I've seen. My Hyperions don't undock without at least 2 armor repairs. My Hyperion bomber has 3, and it has that special nanocore, the burning night nanocore with a repair bonus. Absolutely wicked on that ship. That nanocore is a bit rare. And the only reason why I even have a Hyperion is because of that nanocore. If I didn't have the nanocore,
warp drive
I wouldn't be flying a Hyperion. Now we have a Bestower. Now the Bestower is a transport ship, mainly used for transporting structures. So good chance that this ship might carry a pass or similar, and obviously I will give chase. Now this almost went completely wrong, because I immediately thought that the ship... I actually did attempt to stop this thing from warping, but initially I thought that
warp drive active.
they already warped, because they haven't been there on the gate when they jumped in. One thing though that confused me at first, I definitely clicked on stop ship, but this thing just didn't care. It just went warping, and at this moment I kind of thought, should I yeet this tablet out the window? Am I going to miss on a very potentially very good loot drop? Because if there is something that I have gotten used to, or should I say if there is something that I became really good at smelling, is the smell of something expensive. And my nose was off the charts, screaming that this thing is going to be potentially a very valuable target. The ship might be a very valuable target. And I missed the Bestower. They went to the other gate. However, this is a Saleos, it's fast. I do have a solid chance at intercepting them at a different system.
Warp
We
drive
know
active.
these systems like the back of our hand. We know every single shortcut. We pretty much know where to go, when to go, how to intercept. I'm not going to go into the details, but we've been here for a very long time, and every single system, every single corner, literally the whole region is at the back of our hands. We know all of it. So I do have a good chance to catch this transport ship, and I'm honestly very interested to see what's inside, because it's not every day that you see a Bestower, and usually nowadays when you see these ships they definitely have something inside. So spamming that jump button because the ship didn't want to jump on its own, and okay, to have a chance to, there they are, they jumped in. I have to be very fast now. I have to be landing on the gate, which is actually pretty close to this little gate here. I have to basically land and get in
Warp drive
position before they manage to warp. I do have a chance to catch them. Still have a chance. And now the moment of truth. I landed at 0. And there they are. Perfect. Within range. Just on time. Okay, let's approach and use the scrambler as well. Webbed, scrambled. And the Bestower has been destroyed. Finally. Okay. Now initially when I opened the rack, I thought, okay, this was empty. And then I checked the kill mail. And yeah, Now let me see, what is it? I have no comments at my bad luck here. Just no word to describe the bad luck. Maybe it would drop if I caught it on time. But it's the thing I had in my mind. Maybe if I didn't miss the first time, maybe it would drop. But yeah, that's a Corporation outpost destroyed, by the way. This, not going to complain. That's a pretty juicy Bestower kill mail. That's a good kill, definitely. Well, if there was any cut in my voice there, my microphone disconnected because I accidentally yanked it out of the USB port. In any case, next target, we have a Tristan Navy. We have been roaming around a little bit, and we stumble upon this ship. Now I messed up my build. I said that I will use a autocannon build, but I went with artillery cannons because I don't know why, and I have 3 points. But I don't think I would be able to approach the Tristan. They are moving. That's actually very fast. It could be a Voyage Channel Core. Yeah, that ship is moving at roughly 6 kilometers per second. 4.5 to 6 kilometers per second is the... Yeah, that's a fast Tristan. It smells like a Voyage Channel Core, so even if I had webs, that wouldn't work, unfortunately. My only, I guess, chance would be if I had webs and a scrambler, and if I were able to approach on time, but unfortunately, I didn't have those. And, well, yeah, not going to play catch with a frigate going 6 kilometers per second, or maybe even more. I mean, the Voyage Channel Core does give some crazy velocity bonus for a short amount of time, and it basically also makes the ship immune to any webs, which I would say is one of the worst things that they could have ever added to the game. the blue and white core, the porcelain core, I believe that's the name, the voyage core. Also one of the things that should have never been in the game, honestly. Easy escape button, basically. And then there's the new core. I forgot the name of it, but it basically repairs your shield or armor. I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest. That Nano core also seems to be along the lines of being a little bit broken, I guess, for the lack of better word. But in any case, I was chasing a Megathron striker, but unfortunately, this is where actually, you know, what's funny? I always have the wrong fit for the wrong moment. Like in this case, if I had the long range builds with the cannon, with the artillery cannons, and with the disruptors, I would have caught this Megathron striker. But I had a scrambler, and yeah, I got spawned at a very bad position, and I missed the Megathron striker. They warped, and they are on the way to a low-sec gate. Yeah, I'm not catching that. So that sucked, but it just proves that you can't really be ready for every single situation there is. This is where the Enforcer would probably work, because the Enforcer has a much longer scrambler and point range, and this is the reason why I want to fly the Enforcer, because if I had the Enforcer, this ship would have been caught. But I'm flying this ugly ship, so yeah, we're missing the Megathron. My fault for having the wrong build. One thing I dislike about the Enforcer is the speed. This thing is ridiculously fast. The Enforcer is slow. This ship is like 3 times faster than the Enforcer, and that's the thing that annoys me about that ship. It's slow. I feel uncomfortable in slow ships, especially if it's a slow cruiser. Cruisers are not really meant to be slow unless it's a Stratus, where I can understand, but for a Concord ship that costs a kidney, I don't know. And this was a interesting PvP Aster build. Not really sure what happened with the Aster. They cloaked, but then they decloaked. Did they attempt to...
Warp drive active.
I don't know. I'm a bit confused with what happened there. Next we have a Moa 2 Guardian. As you can see, I'm basically switching between the builds, trying to see what will work, but every time I switch it proves that I switched and I messed up, because I shouldn't have switched. So it's just how it goes today, at least. And there is a Moa 2 Guardian that for some reason has no armor, and yeah, has no armor for some reason. Well, they are burning through the gates. Yeah, I think they will jump. Would this ship be able to break the Moa Guardian tank? Yeah, definitely. But unfortunately I was a little bit too slow, and they jumped. In any case, was a nice attempt either way. Not going to complain too much about that. As I mentioned before, you miss some, you win some, you catch some ships, you miss some ships. It's just how the game goes. There will be more. There is always more. Actually, I will say this, there is a lot more activity in the game now than a couple months ago, and that's a very nice thing. A lot more activity, actually. Based on from what I'm seeing, a decent improvement in the overall player count now than if you compare it to before. Next we have a little Dramiel. This is also where autocannons would do much better against a frigate like the Dramiel, for example. But unfortunately, yeah, I have the wrong build again. In any case, the Dramiel has been destroyed. I do like the Dramiel, it's a very nice frigate. However, I don't think I ever used one like I never really used one actively. There's been a time where I wanted to fly one, but I was always kind of a cruiser pilot. I figured out that I'm still a better cruiser pilot than I would be than a frigate pilot. In any case, next, I was a Heron Explorer. I love to wait for exploration ships in these the exploration sites, especially in NullSec with the Saleos, because occasionally they drop something quite juicy, and might actually have to do that because I need ISK. Although, if you could see my hangar on the start, 96 billion just in ships, and I complain about ISK. The truth is, I'm just way too lazy to sell stuff. I still have no clue what stuff I have in my stations. Next, we have a magnet cover tops. Oh, and speaking of expensive ships, yeah, speaking of the devil earlier, the Hyperion. You know, kind of sad that I don't fly this ship a lot more often. That's actually good cover tops catch. 1 billion, 1.1 billion. Expensive one. Kind of sad that I don't fly this ship a lot more often because it's a little bit on the crazy side. And well, I left this for the end on purpose because speaking of the Enforcer, we have the Enforcer as the target now. And these ships they can potentially be very scary, obviously, very tanky, but most importantly, very expensive. The Enforcer is now into armor, and that ship was already damaged in the hull for some reason. The hull was already damaged for whatever reason. A couple more hits should do it. And there we go. Enforcer has been, I guess, enforced. I don't know, destroyed. And let's get the pod. There we go. Well, what do you think? How much did that thing cost? Well, we're about to find out. Oh no, 17.1, yeah. This is why I feel uncomfortable flying this thing, especially since it's slow. If it pops, you'll make someone's day with the kill mail, because these things are expensive. In any case, that would be it for this little run today. Honestly, it was I had fun. I definitely had fun. I'm having more fun in the game now than I had before, that's for sure. And you can expect a lot more action in the upcoming days. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, fly safe. As always, I'll see you next time.